But first, we begin with the top story of the day, and the Ohio Board of Education could soon no longer exist in its current form, and it could affect what your kids are taught in school.
Governor Mike DeWine approved a new program to replace the current board in his budget for next year, pulling power from the board members over to a member of his cabinet. Michael Sandlin joining us now live with more details on this. And Michael, I understand there's been some controversy over this whole decision.
Jeff, it was supposed to take effect at midnight, but a judge has just ruled to delay things for the next 2 days. Governor DeWine says, delay or not, he's going to make sure it happens. And now education leaders here in town are raising the alarm, saying they're concerned about giving the keys to Ohio's curriculum over to the governor's cabinet.
We haven't seen this kind of a bald-faced political grab over education, honestly, since the late 1890s.
Toledo's Educational Studies Chair, Edward Janik, says Ohio's educators are looking down the barrel of what could be one of the biggest changes in Ohio education history, a reshaping of the education system.
Leading into last budget cycle, the governor and Republicans in the State House decided they were unhappy with the way the State Board of Education had been operating.
The governor has said that the current Board of Education has been distracted by social issues and culture wars, so a change was made going into the 2024 budget. The transfer of educational power from the 17 elected board members, board president, and vice president of the Board of Education to a member of the governor's cabinet, who will then appoint their own board. This will end the Board of Education as we know it and install the newly named Board of Education and Workforce.
They wanted to put their own cronies in place, and I'm being very blunt with that. So they are completely overruling the law. They are completely overruling the will of the voters of the state of Ohio and have created a board of their own friends.
While neither the governor nor the interim Board of Education president have laid out how their educational priorities will change, this transition of power has both Janik and Kevin Dalton, the president of the Toledo Federation of Teachers, very concerned. Dalton says it gives Ohioans less of a say in their education.
So people vote for the governor for governing of Ohio policies. People vote for the State Board of Education for their education policies. And by marginalizing and or transitioning authority away from the State Board of Education, you're ultimately marginalizing some of the members and the region's votes for who they put in the office.
And Janik fears it could lead to lesson plans similar to ones that have come out of states like Florida or Texas.
We're going to start to see things like having to teach slavery was good for black people. And there are two sides to the Holocaust. And we won at the Alamo.
7 members of the Board of Education have sued the state to try to stop this change, leading to the temporary injunction declared by the Ohio judge. But with the injunction expiring Thursday, Dalton says teachers are feeling uneasy.
Is not knowing what's going to be next and wondering what's coming down the pipe, especially when we're trying to stay focused on the job at hand. And that's dealing with those students.
Now the plaintiffs in this state have until October 4th to submit their arguments for whether or not this temporary hold should end, be modified, or continue for the next 14 days. Reporting live, I'm Michael Sandlin for the WTOL 11.